Hello, everyone. I'm Samudra Gupta, and I'm inviting Sahil Kapoor, who is the national head of 360 Realtors, with us today. And Sahil is an industry veteran who has a lot of knowledge about how the industry is going. So, welcome, Sahil, to our show and Metaverse.
Thank you, Samudra.
Yep. So, Sahil, for the whole world, we want to have your introduction to start with, and then we can proceed with our questions.
Thank you. I would say I'm pretty young in real estate. I've just been in the industry for the last 1.5 decades, and I guess that's pretty young as far as the industry veterans are concerned. So I
True.
started my career in 2009 with a global multinational called Remax. I spent around close to a decade with them, and right now I'm with 360 Realtors, which is one of the India's largest institutional channel partner. I am the national head of 360 Realtors, and I believe in continuous learning, continuous development, because real estate is a very dynamic industry. It keeps changing with the blink of an eye. So every next day, you have to learn something new about the industry. So I think one of the most promising industries to be in, one of the most rewarding industries to be in. It's been my pleasure, and I guess anybody who's watching this, either who's part of the industry or looking forward to be part of this industry, you're going to have a great joy while being part of this business.
Wow. And it's coming from the horse's mouth, which is we spent a lot in the real estate, makes a lot of sense. So, Sahil, my first question to you would be you have seen the whole ecosystem today. Okay. And what are the changes you have seen post pandemic, especially into the realty segment?
Right. In fact, quite surprising and quite opposite to the common belief that every industry was severely impacted negatively by COVID. Real estate, thankfully, with the grace of God, was not negatively impacted at all with COVID. In fact, we can see the numbers of all the listed developers, right from Godrej, DLF, Embassy, Purvankara. These guys, their sales increased drastically during COVID. Just to put it on record, Godrej, their sales if I talk about the previous year, a year before COVID and during COVID, their sales increased by almost close to 800 crores. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of additional sales coming into picture. And one of the biggest reasons why that happened was during COVID, see, everybody told us to stay at home, right? Right from the politicians to celebrities to medical professionals to authorities. Imagine if I do not have a home of my own. I'm living on rent. I'm a tenant somewhere, and my house, the chat on my head is not secure. That's a really dicey situation that nobody would want to be in, right? So I think COVID and lockdown, they taught people the importance of home ownership. People realized कि घर छोटा हो लेकिन अपना हो बहुत जरूरी है. A lot of people, especially the millennials, the younger generation, I can't call myself young anymore, but yes, I still feel the younger generation, they felt, you know what, it's better to rent rather than buying. But I felt during lockdown and during pandemic, people realized, nahi, I need to have a house of my own. I need to buy a house which is my asset, something which belongs to me completely. So yes, home ownership became paramount, and it was supported very well by our government. The mortgage rates, the home loan rates, they went down drastically. As per my knowledge, in the last 40 years, they've never gone as low as what they went during pandemic. So we looked at almost 6.5%. I think when was the last time you and I looked at 6.5%? Not in India for sure, right? As
Yep.
per SBI, they've not seen home loan rates go below 8% in the last 17 years. So yes, almost in 2-3 decades, the home loan rate, the mortgage rates, they were the lowest. Maharashtra, Karnataka, there were a couple of other states which reduced the stamp duty as well. So the price point became very sweet. The developers realized that, you know what, all the other businesses, all these other industries, they're impacted, but we still have a lot of demand coming in from the buyers. So they gave excellent payment plans, they gave some sweet offers, and all these things, they finally resulted in sales numbers actually going up during pandemic rather than going down, which happened in a lot of other industries. So yes, after COVID, I think one of the biggest shift in mindset was that no, I need to own a house. That mindset was there that home is the most important asset. I need to own one at least.
Wow, that's an amazing, amazing insight coming from you. But during the process, do you think technology, as a word used by everybody, how technology has been playing a vital role in the realty segment as of
I think in the last 2 years we survived because of technology. I
now?
remember I
Uh-huh.
used to conduct physical events almost twice a week before technology. I had to travel to multiple cities. I was probably in and out of the flights. I was living out of my suitcase. And not
Hmm.
just me, I think there are probably thousands of professionals like me who are doing the same. But after pandemic, we realized, you know what, there are some easier, cost-effective ways of doing the same thing. So
Wow.
technology taught us those cost-effective ways of doing the same thing in probably a wider impact, right? I mean, just to let you know, in the last 2 years of pandemic, every week on a Saturday, I have personally conducted a webinar about the business opportunity that we offer. And trust
Hmm.
me, in every single webinar that I have conducted, there has been a 3-digit attendance. So the minimum that I've got is around 100 odd people. And yes, it's been exceptionally very well accepted. People have accepted that yes, technology, we can't live without it, especially in real estate. The virtual tours, the AI, the VR systems, I think that helped us sail through. If we didn't have e-brochures, because I don't know, the last time that I have seen a physical copy of a brochure, I don't remember that, because all we keep seeing is video tours, virtual tours, AR, VR, the virtual brochures, the e-brochures. So a lot of cost, one, has been saved. We're going green as well because we're not using the paper anymore. A lot of physical events, right? They've taken a backseat, and things which could be avoided in terms of cost, people are avoiding it right now. You and I, we are speaking virtually to so many people right now on this platform. This was probably possible earlier, but we thought, you know what, it's not effective. Today we know that yes, it is effective. People do watch us, people do listen to us, and it's doable. So yes, technology has, I think, helped the industry sail through in these tough times. Without tech, it wouldn't have been possible.
Interesting. That's very important to know. How things have changed suddenly. But
Yeah,
when you were talking about a new age technologies coming, my next question is like, what's the new age buyers demand today? You were
right,
talking about millennials. You were talking about all the young generation thinking differently. What's
right.
their demand? What are they looking into the real estate segment nowadays?
Right, right. I think one thing which our generation especially doesn't have with so many gadgets and so many things surrounding our life is time. We don't have time for anything practically today. We don't have time for our health. We don't have time for our families. Finding out time for something as important as buying a property is very, very critical, very, very important. So nobody wants to waste even a single moment on looking at a property which is not his taste, which is not his type. So what people want is right information, transparent information at a single particular place. This is what the generation today is expecting. So once again, right information, transparent information at one single place. Because if I look at my real estate portals that we used to have almost
Hmm.
1.5 decade back in the 2008 nines, Magic Bricks, 99 acres, they were like cluttered, I would say, classified newspaper. They were
Hmm.
like an online classified cluttered newspaper. But today, with the emergence of certain platforms like housing.com, everybody was forced to change. So what I
Hmm.
see now is the information which is available online on various
Hmm.
different platforms, it is less cluttered, it is more
Hmm.
refined. I can use a lot more filters than I previously could. And
Hmm.
I'm getting closer to, I would not say the exact information because there's a long way to go, but I can see closer to the correct information that I'm expecting out of my buyer's need, right? Out of my real estate requirement. So yes,
Hmm.
that is what I expect as a home buyer, as a property buyer, as an investor, that I get the right information at the right place, transparent information at one single go. I don't have to click too many buttons. It doesn't have to be very complicated. The UI has to be decent enough so that even a non-tech savvy guy should be able to use it. That is what the consumer wants.
Wow, that's quite interesting. In fact, the change what the new age startups have brought in, I suppose that makes a lot of sense.
Oh
So, Sahil,
yes.
you leading 360 Theatres, one of the leading largest player in the Indian channel ecosystem. How are you actually helping the whole realty players to boost their sales? What are you guys doing differently being the number one in the market?
See, what we have done is we have tried to bring everything under one roof. We try and call ourselves the one-stop solution for all your real estate needs, because buying a home is not just about selecting a property and then I go back home. No, it's much, much, much more than that. It's about documentation. It's about legal work. It's about the whole relocation process. It's about movement from one place to another. It's about the after sale service. It's about the documentation, the registration, the after possession things like vastu compliance, interiors. There are so many things in this entire process, right? So what we
Mhm.
try and do is, of course, not everything under the sun is what we can do, but we try to make a bouquet of services that at least covers 75-80% of the home buying needs. As an
Right.
example, right from consultation, giving
Mhm.
him the right choice, giving him multiple choices of various properties of various different developers. That's something that we do beautifully. We don't work with one or two niche developers and only promote that. No, we don't do that. We make sure that the developer, there are enough project options given to the customers in every single price bracket. So right from giving the options, second, we make sure that any project that we are selling is RERA compliant, so that all the
Mhm.
documentation and everything is in place, all the approvals are in place, so that the customer doesn't end up buying something which is not legally correct. Third, what we do is we have our technology tools as well. We use websites, we use our CRM to make sure that the customer is given the right information at the right time based on the expectations that he has. Because there are people today who are more comfortable on WhatsApp, there are people who are more comfortable on an email, there are people who are more comfortable of visiting the sites physically. So we make sure that
Mhm.
we are able to cater to all three segments of consumers, right from the WhatsApp users to the email users, or to people who want to physically visit and only then see that whether I like this property or not. So we're trying to offer these bouquet of services. We have added Vastu consultation under our
Mhm.
services that we offer. We have our in-house interior decoration organization that offers interior solutions as well. And we have a mortgage division as well. So in that mortgage
Okay.
division, we are tied up with almost every name in the market that you can talk about, and we
Mhm.
make sure that we provide that mortgage assistance to our consumers as well. The idea is that he should not have to roam at 20 different places to get these 20 different things done. At least out of these 20 things which are required in a home buying process, I'm at least able to cater to almost 60-70% of his journey. That's what we are trying to achieve, and that's the reason we have been able to fairly reach the kind of success that we've got. It's only because of these services that we offer.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, looking at from going from the past, from the pandemic times to the future. Now,
Yeah.
what's the future of Indian reality, and what property buyers can expect from the ecosystem to come forward?
I think even before the pandemic, one of the biggest milestone breakthrough in the Indian real estate was the RERA coming into picture. With RERA
Hmm.
coming into picture, as real estate consultants, we are thankful that it came in. I'm sure the buyers are thankful that it came in. It has given a lot of confidence to the buyers, which was much needed, right? There was a kind of loss of trust, there was loss of faith prior to RERA, but RERA has given that much needed confidence, faith, trust to the home buyers.
Hmm.
After RERA and after the pandemic, I feel the future is about organized and structured businesses, right? Businesses which are based on technology, businesses which are based on larger organized systems and processes. Because the Indian real estate majority, or I would say majorly, has been unorganized. It has been non-transparent. I don't see real estate being that way in the coming years. See, we've all seen real estate conducted in US and Canada. It's a lot more organized, it's a lot more structured, and it's lots more transparent. They took probably 60, 70, 80 years to be there where they are, but I don't think we will take that much of time to reach where they are right now.
Hmm.
In terms of technology, in terms of every industry, our pace to reach where they are is much, much, much faster. So I feel we're sitting in 2022 right now. I think before 2030, before the end of this particular decade, we will be almost at par with the Western real estate market. Will be as organized because there are a lot of international brands which are slowly coming into India in the consultancy segment. And if you look at what has happened in the last 1 decade, almost all the corporates have entered into real estate development space. So right from Mahindras to Tatas to Shapurjis to L&T, right, Adani to Birla, all these guys who earlier were always behind the curtains, right? They were doing a lot of stuff in real estate, but not with their own names. But now, all of these corporate developers, they've come into existence. Godrej, we all know that they've become the largest developer in India in terms of
Mhm.
sales. So the names, the corporate developers, with them coming in, I feel the number of players might get shrunk drastically.
Mhm.
You would
Mhm.
find a lesser number of players, but more credible players, more honest players who would live up to the commitments which they are making. So once again, organized, structured, and transparent. I think these three words would define the future of Indian real estate, whether in terms of development, whether in terms of real estate brokerage. And that's
Wow,
a good
that's
sign for the
that's
home buyers.
true that. And I suppose that's the success mantra going forward, if I'm not wrong.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So thanks, Sahil, for coming down, sharing your knowledge, insights, and the experience you have. And it's pleasure to have you over here with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Samudra. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.